Welcome back. So in the first video, we downloaded our VMware workstation. So now we're going to go ahead and create 4 VMs. But before then, in the previous video, I had said we should download SQL Windows Server 2012 R2. Okay. So this one is still going to be 2018 and above. So now we're going to go ahead and download our Windows Server, which is going to be our operating system. So you quickly come here to your Google and then you look for 2012 R2. This is not going to disturb us with license issues. So we click on this one and you see it here, 2012. You download this edition, 64. So it's been downloaded right here. And that is going to be very easy for us to use instead of the previous ones that was asking us for license. So this evaluation is going to be for just 180 days. And hopefully after that evaluation, we would have been done with this project or this class. So, and this system is very fast, as you can see. It's downloading the Windows operating system 2012. So we're going to use that one instead. Okay, 26 seconds left. So let's just wait for it to finish. But if your system is slow, you can always, just take a walk and then you get back. But for the purpose of this, the system is very fast. So we're going to just stay put and say 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so it's done downloading. I can minimize this. So the first thing you have to do is you come here, you double click your VMware station. So it's going to open. So I actually had to, let me close down one, clicked it twice. So, sorry, I was going to open that again. Yeah, this is it here. So you can either come to File and you click New VM, or you can just come here and you click on Create New VM. From here, you go to Next. From here, you can go to Install. So when you browse, you see it here. You click OK. You pick that file and then you click OK. It's going to show you Windows Server 2012 detected. So now you're going to name it your SQL AD. AD stands for Active Directory and SQL stands for SQL Server. Now this AD, the concept behind this is where you're going to be creating all your users and everyone that is going to be participating in accessing your servers. So the concept of Active Directory is that that's where you manage all your users. If anyone come into your organization newly, you have to create their login from your use. You can either add them to the Active Directory so that they can then in turn be added to any group that they belong to. So I'm going to explain that in details in the course of the class. So you click on Next. Now, this is not going to be a lot, so we can put 30 here. You change this to 30. Then you click on Next. And then you leave the power on this virtual machine and you click on Finish. So as you can see, it's powering on the virtual machine for us. And from there, we're going to go ahead and do some couple of more things. Please, when you're watching this video, just do exactly as I am doing. All right, you can see it's installing the operating system. So this is going to pop up telling you it's Windows Server 2012 R2. You click on Next. You click on Install now. So it's installing your SQL AD for you, which is like your Active Directory. All right. So we're going to come down to this last one because we want a desktop experience. You pick this last one. You click on Next. Then you accept this license, check this box here, and then you click on Next. Then you come here, pick the second one. There are 2 boxes here. You pick this one, Custom, and then you click on Next. So right now, it's going to install this operating system for your SQLAD, which is your Active Directory. So I'm going to pause the video and come back when it's done installing. All right. So it has finished installing, it's restarting. So the moment you finish recording, you can either restart it by yourself or automatically to restart itself. So now the Windows operating system has been done installing. The next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and log in and then do some modifications and promote this server to what we call the domain controller. So you're going to watch me do that. All right. So I'm just waiting for it to come on. Okay, it's still coming on. Now, in your own screen, I don't know if you would see this, but if you see here, it says on the bottom of the screen, it says VMware tools enable many features and improve mouse movements, video, and performance. So I can either come here and say install tools. If you click on install tools, it's going to install that tools for you, or you can always do that later, all right? So now what you want to enter here is just enter your password. We like to use password 1 with a capital P, password 1, so that you can remember it on time, or so that you always remember it. So I mean, this is not your official environment, so you can use that. Click on finish. So this is finalizing the settings. Now, if you look here, you're going to see the black screen here. So for you to get rid of this black screen, you get to install what we call the VMware tools. So you can come to the left-hand side of my screen, see where we have VM here. You click on VM. I have actually started before, so you can either, if you've not started before, it's going to show you install VMware tool. But let me cancel this so that you can see. I'm going to go back and start again. It's stopping the VMware tools installation. Then it's going to give me pop-up here for me to be able to do it again. So I'm going to wait for it to just finish. So now you can see the install VMware tools. It's popping up that thing again on my screen. Something blue should pop up here. And if it doesn't pop up, I'm going to go through another way to install the VMware tools. Okay, it's not coming up for me. So now we're going to, if you look down here, it says we should press the key plus the Windows logo key plus R. Then we enter this particular command here to set it up. So I'm going to hold my Windows button and R. Okay. Okay. So Windows button and R. You can see it has pop up for me there. But you may not have to come this far, but in case yours doesn't pop up like mine did not, you just come in, you type D, you put that symbol there, and then /setup.exe. You click and enter. This D is your drive where the CD-ROM drive is. You click on this, you click on OK. Let me see. Clicking enter is not responding. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to respond to me. Let me see, browse. So I go to my D drive. Where's my D drive? This PC. Unfortunately, this doesn't have the D drive. So I'm going to cancel this again, cancel this again, cancel this again. Okay, I'll come back and do that. Now, let's say yours came up like this. If you come here, again, VM, let me see, cancel this again. I'll do that later on. So just click on this, follow my mouse. You see this sign here, this thing that points down. See my mouse in the middle of the screen, just follow it to the left. Click on this, it's going to open up this for you. And you enter the password 1 that you had entered before. It's going to open up like this for you. Then now let's go try the VM. Then you click on yes here. Yes. Okay, let's try to install the VMware tools now that we have logged into the VM. You see that it's going to work now. The blue thing should pop up here now. Trying to install that again. You see now that the blue thing has popped up. So you have to sign in first. You click that, you see, run this, and watch now, the whole space is going to cover up. It's going to cover all the black spaces that are on the screen right now. Okay, you click on next, you click on next, click on install. So it's going to give us a better experience with the display of the screen. Okay, now you can see that your VM is now big, beautiful. Good, so you can now see everything very well. You click on finish. No, we can restart later. When this pop up and tell you, do you want to restart now? Just say no, you can always do that later. So now we've been able to log into the VM. Since this is our SQLAD, the next thing you're going to do here is to go and add row and features. All right. So you come here, you can click on add rows and features. You click on next. You click on next. You click on next. So you're going to see this feature here that says Active Directory Domain Services. You check on the second one. It's going to show you this. You click on add features. You click on next. You click on next. You click on next. And you click on install. So right now it's going to install what we call Active Directory Domain Services. This is a service that allows you to create users. This is the service that will allow you to have what we call a domain controller. So by the time this service has been done downloading, we're going to see how to promote this server to what we call Active Directory. So I'm going to pause the video here and then come back when this is done installing. All right, as you can see, that was fast. If you look at the screen very well, you see this blue sign here in the middle, this sign here. It says promote this server to a domain controller. You click on that. You click on this, promote. It's going to come here. You pick the third one that says add new forest. So we want to call this server SQL.com. We want to call this domain SQL.com. You type SQL.com. You click on next. So remember, I told you at the beginning of the video that this will not be your job, but you need to set up your environment so that you can have your studio to play with. All right. So it says here password. We're going to enter that same password that we always enter. Password 1 with a capital P. You repeat it again. Password 1. You click on next. You click on next. Okay. So the computer, this particular computer called SQLAD is a virtual machine sitting inside your VMware. The VMware houses virtual machines. Now, because we need to have more than one computer, that is why we went to have to download VMware so that we can create multiple virtual machines inside one big computer. So now you can see here, you just click on next here. When you click on next, you wait for it to go to the next stage. You know, because of what we'll be doing in the course of the class, you will need more than one laptop, but we can't say buy 4 laptops. So instead of that, we say, hey, get a VMware where we get a computer that has enough capacity to take 4 VMs. So now you click on next here, next again. And the last thing would be to install. So as soon as this prerequisite is done, we're going to see the button would show that to say install and make this your domain controller. All right, so it's passed the test. You click on install. So it's promoting this server right now to what we call the domain controller. So this is where all your domain computers will be networked on this particular server. It's going to control what will be going on in other computers that we're going to install after this. All right, so let's see. I'm going to pause the video again and then come back when this is done installing. All right, it's done installing. By the time it's done installing, you're going to see this. It will say that, of course, it's going to restart your computer for you. After you promote it to the domain controller, that's what's going to happen. So it's restarting now, stopping and restarting the services. We're not done with setting up the SQLAD, so we're still going to wait for it to be done, and then we go back in and finish some configuration. All right, so while that is coming up, let me see if you go back and click to that place that I told you to always click. Okay, still trying to boot. Okay, still booting. So as soon as it's done booting, we're going to sign in to the virtual machine. So this is like a mini computer inside your computer. That's the concept of the PM. So while we're waiting for this, we're still going to create 3 more, like I told you. So just stay put and do exactly what you see me do on this video. All right, so it's still loading. Let's see how many more minutes is left for that to happen. Okay. All right, now we can see that everything has been done. So we're going to come back here and click on this down arrow here, this arrow that is here to log in. You can see that now, since you promoted this to a domain controller, it's now showing you the name of the domain, which is SQL/the administrator. So you're going to enter your password again, password 1, and then you log into the VM. Now this has been promoted to the domain controller. But we are going to do some, some little configuration. So right now, I want you to go here to local server. If you look at my mouse, we have dashboard here. You click on local server. You will see that the computer name has not changed. That is one, though the domain has changed. So you come down here to this Ethernet, this last one, you see IPv4 right here. You double click this. You double click this again, you double click properties, you double click this IPv4. I'm going to go back again. You come here to local server, you click on local server, this will pop up. You scroll down to Ethernet IPv4, you click it twice. You click this one twice. You come to properties, you click properties twice. You scroll down to this IPv4, you double click it twice. Now we want to change this IP address of this computer to use the IP that this VM has. You click here, you say, use the following IP address. This is going to pop up like this for you. All right. Then you come down to this button, follow my mouse here. I was here, I'm coming down to this left. You see this Windows button here. So this place here where the mouse is, you click on start, you click there. Okay, this is going to pop up for you, right? You come to this space here, you click this space, and you type CMD for command prompt. You double click the command prompt, this would open. You type ipconfig. You want to get the IP address of any VM, you're going to type ipconfig, then you hit enter. So you see now that it has given us the IP address of this system. You can see the IPv4 here. Then you go back to that particular thing you opened before. You click it. You shift this one to the left. So you want to enter all these IP addresses here. You click here. The first one we have here is 192. The next one is 168.32 and 128. All right. This is where I'm getting all my IP from. This now I'm going to enter my subnet mask. If you click here automatically to enter it for you, then you go to the third line. The third line is 192.168.32.2. You come back here, you put it 192.168.32.2. Then now for the preferred DNS server, we're going to still enter our default gateway. So you come here and you enter 192.168.32.2. Now for your SQLAD, your preferred DNS server would be the same as your default gateway. So that is why you have this number here on the third line, the default gateway, the same thing with this one. But for your other VMs that you will create, your preferred DNS server would be the IP address of your SQLAD. So you're going to note this IP address for SQLAD. It is 192.168.32.128. We will need it for the other VMs that we will create later. So when you do this, you just click OK here. You click OK here. You click on close. You close all of this. So now watch the space. So now your IP address has been changed to the IP address of this VM. If you look at it now, it's down here. The next thing you want to do is to come to your computer name. You double click your computer name. You click on change. You click on OK. I want to change this to SQLAD. I want to name it the same way it was, the same way it is right now. All right, you can click on more. No, I don't want to change anything. Sorry. You can click on OK. So now it's going to prompt a password for you to enter your password. Okay, it didn't prompt us because we're already here. So just click OK. And then good, you click on close. I would restart later. So now you can click on restart later. The name will not change now, but it will change when you restart later. So when you get to this point, still in your SQLAD, you're still going to do some things. But right now, I'm going to restart this video. And then when we come back in the next video, I'm going to show you what you do in your SQLAD. So you come here, you're going to say, no, sorry, you go back here. No, I wanted to restart this. Sorry, come down here. You can say restart guest. You restart. So it's going to restart this whole VM. It's not restarting. Okay, good. It's restarting. Restart. So when we come back in the next video, we're going to log back in and continue to show you the next thing that we're going to do in our SQLAD.